Nobody wants to look in the mirror and say, I'm the fault my company's not growing.
People like to make a ton of excuses. I mean, we did our first million before I was done with school. The contractors that are winning spend the money, spend the money, spend the money.
Welcome back to Exit Rich Home Services with your host, the most, Lance Bachman. I'm sitting here with Marco Cipolla. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes, sir.
All right. Didn't want to mess that, was it? Founder of Coding Launch, a digital agency. And you also have a awesome app you guys created for the HVAC industry. And what's the name of that again?
HVACquote.ai. Yeah.
HVAC Quote. So, Marco, we're going to talk about, because you pretty much do all home services and marketing.
Yeah.
For the most part, right?
Yeah.
I'm out here in Arizona with you. We're spending the night together. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about your app, why it's so important to the HVAC industry. And then we're just talking about what's going on in home services that you see and some other business stuff. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming out here to this nice resort we're staying at. And why don't you tell everybody who you are real fast, Marco?
Yeah. Well, my name is Marco. I'm based here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I run a digital marketing agency. We've been running that for many years. We spend, a few $1 million a year in advertising across the clients we work with. And, as of the last year, we've developed and launched a new app called HVAC Quote for the HVAC space.
So let's talk about your agency first.
Yeah.
I used to own an agency. I don't know if you know that.
Of course, I know that.
So how do you like the agency life?
Well, I feel like it's a stepping stone for all entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs, they get into the agency space, but they don't, like, they figure out there's a time where maybe they're not going to be doing that forever, And, for me, I always knew that it was a way for me to learn how to market different businesses using their money, So when I started working with roofers, plumbers, concrete businesses, they give me an advertising budget. I mean, shoot, I got to learn how to market on their dollar in the beginning, right? And so it's a great model in the beginning. As of, I think we manage about $1 million a month in advertising across the clients we work with. So
Which is not small. Most people don't realize that's actually a nice size agency. I'm assuming you're probably about 100 clients,
yeah,
right? Times 10,000
yeah,
each client and spend. It sounds about right, right?
hmm
Brings you to $1 million.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, throughout the years, we've noticed different trends. Facebook, Google. The two main platforms we focus on is Google and Facebook, and a lot of people are sleeping on Facebook nowadays. Facebook is really a dramatic platform. You can capture a lot of interest and awareness. People, 5 years ago, never thought Facebook was possible with running ads. It was, because people aren't on the platform searching for your services. If you run a roofing company in Phoenix, people search roofer near me or roofing companies Phoenix. Whereas Facebook, you're having to capture awareness, build a funnel, get people down to the bottom, which is the 2%, where people are actually making a decision to,
Correct.
buy.
Well, people don't realize Facebook is also the biggest brand awareness boost you'll ever have for when people do go to Google.
Yeah,
Right? Web every 3 touches to a phone is a social media app.
correct.
So you have to understand that. So if you're not advertising, I got no dog in the fight, people. I say this all the time. People ask me, Lance, what agency do I use? Are you on my recommendations? And I'm like, I got no dog. I don't own 1%. I don't get a referral fee, as you know, for
hmm
anyone I send to you, Camp Digital, Sosa. I don't take a referral fee.
Yeah.
I think if I'm correct, Bill, Sosa bought lunch one time for one of our groups, correct?
Correct.
Right. That's the only thing I've ever taken. She said, can I buy lunch for a group she was speaking at? I said, sure. Like that's how, like if you're a partner of mine, I don't take any money
Yeah.
because I don't want to hear, well, he only uses it because he makes money from like so many other people do.
hmm
Right. I'm sure people
Yeah.
send you business and they want 10%, 20% to spend, correct?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Listen, if you have money, you don't need to make money that way.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need to make money off the people I'm sending to you. And hopefully the people that I'm sending money to, to spend money, they're coming to my masterminds, joining my winner's circle, or they're thinking about partnering with us, right?
hmm
To grow their business.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you're seeing with home service companies right now? I hear, like I was just in Vegas with Bradley all day, right? And Vegas was a ghost town,
hmm
but yet my businesses are booming,
Yeah.
right? My businesses are booming. We're having record months. Things are going great, but everyone's saying the economy's bad. What are you seeing? Because everyone's saying it.
Yeah. What I'm seeing, honestly, is, Facebook and Google are moving a direction where it's actually becoming a little more difficult to win on these platforms. You look at Google releasing the LSA platform and these different companies releasing programs that keep the website visitor off the website and on their platform versus
Of course.
on the home, on the contractor's website. And usually when you see that kind of behavior happening, um, it's getting more complicated. You can no longer, I mean, my brother just launched a gutter company in Idaho. And I mean, just to, get things going, it's a big process. I mean, 10 years ago, you'd be able to go on Google Ads and run a PPC campaign and be on page one right away. But now you're going through verification and making sure
Think
you're,
about gutters. Gutters aren't even a competitive category.
yeah,
I'm not being disrespectful.
no, it's not.
It's not like HVAC, plumbing,
Yeah.
electrical, roofing. Right?
But
Gutters
there's
is
a
like the
process.
bottom of the barrel.
There's a process, right?
Oh yeah.
Submitting your licenses, your all the stuff, and so it's getting more complicated. And I think the contractors that are winning are the companies that are willing to spend the money, as you see, right? You have to be willing to spend the money. CPMs are rising, so the cost per 1,000 impressions on all these platforms are rising, which is driving advertising up. And it's just getting more, it's getting harder to do it, but it's more important than ever, finding those customers nowadays.
Well, I say this all the time. If you're not on Google and Facebook, you're probably gonna be out of business.
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
probably.
or you're not gonna grow, right? You're
Yeah.
not gonna grow. Like I do believe you could build $1 million business without being on Google or Facebook. I believe you can just by your referrals, your network, talking to people, going to BNIs, but you're not going to 10 million not being on Google unless you're a legacy company. Because there's
Yeah.
some idiot out there that's gonna go to the comment section, circus, right? And they're gonna say, bullshit, my company does 10 million. Yeah, you've been around since 1932, asshole. I hope you are 10 million,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
but if you're starting a company today, it's almost impossible, I believe, that you grow your company to 10, 20, $30 million without the aggregators. A lot of people don't like that. We were talking earlier.
like Home Advisor
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah,
You gotta leverage your bet against Google and Facebook now because they're going up so fast.
yeah,
Where the aggregators aren't going up as fast. Direct mail is not going up as fast. You have to bet against them almost
yeah.
strategically to bring your cost per lead down. I mean, do
Yeah.
you guys do that? Do you talk about that with your clients?
Yeah, definitely the bigger companies we work with, they, have marketing budgets for each platform. I mean, I've seen companies like they'll come to us and companies have been built on aggregators, Home Advisor, Angie. I'm like, I the first time I saw it, I was astonished. I was like, wow, you're spending $40,000 a month on Angie leads,
We
But
probably spend at LB Capital on Angie's, and just hold on one second, I show you. Would it be safe to say we spend over 100,000 a month or 200,000 a month?
company,
Yeah,
I would probably spend in about 275.
we spend close to 275, 300,000 a month on Angie's.
yeah,
That's just one aggregator.
yeah, and it works.
That's a month.
It works.
Well, but why do you think all my companies grow? And people will argue with me. They'll be like, the leads are shit. I'm like, did you ever think your inbound system shit and take a look at that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to compete against other companies. So you shouldn't earn someone's business. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, you're preaching the choir here.
Huh?
No, I said it's music to my ears, man. Like, companies, I mean, we hear it all the time in the agency game, and I'm sure when SEO, you guys heard it. Contractors are going to be on your butt about leads not answering or leads not good or whatever. If you get a lead and it's somebody with a pulse and they're interested in a roof or in an HVAC system, I mean, that's a good lead. That's somebody interested in something you can sell to them,
So this is the problem, right? We don't have salespeople anymore. The good salespeople are salespeople. You'll meet a salesperson, he's like, I crush it, right? Now, like, what'd you make it last year? They'll be, I made 120 grand. Well, then you're a very shitty salesperson.
Yeah.
I can tell if you're a shitty salesperson by if you want a salary. But if you want a salary, and we give salaries at LB Capital, right? Which is really probably taking a shot at us that we probably should manage people better, to be honest with you. And that's a conversation I'll have with Bill. But we give salaries to our salespeople, and I'm always like, why the fuck do you need a salary? I didn't need a salary. I was never worried about a salary. I just needed a company car, health insurance, and I was good to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
And you're willing, you know yourself enough where you're going to go grind it out and you're going to make the money either way because you're going to do what you say.
I'm going to bet on me all day long. So we don't have salespeople. So salespeople think they crush it. So you need a good training program, number one. You need a good, and I say this to everyone, if I walk into your pizza shop, right, And this is the same exact thing when you think about this, right? I walk into your pizza shop, right? And if I had to wait 5 minutes for someone to wait on me, might I leave the pizza shop? Is everything okay, Neary?
Yeah,
All right.
just agreeing with you.
If I have to wait 5 minutes for you to wait on me, do you think I might leave the pizza shop?
You're gonna leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and maybe I don't want pizza,
Yeah.
right? But I want wings or a hoagie. But if you don't offer me wings or hoagie, I don't see it anywhere on the menu, I might leave your pizza shop. Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's real fucking
100%.
simple, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I come out to your house, and what happens is people are like, oh, the gutter was ripped down
Mm-hmm.
and there's water coming from it. So it's real small, so I'm not going to replace the gutter.
Yeah.
But did you stop and ask the homeowner, hey, listen, this gutter came down for a reason. Let me go inspect everything, make sure there's no damage. I'm here. I'm going to report to you just to make sure if we replace the gutter for you, there's no other issues. How many salespeople do you think are doing that?
Not that many.
I'd be willing to bet you 1 out of 100.
Yeah.
But that salesperson drove out there. We paid for the lead, we paid for the gas, and they don't know what their time is worth.
Yeah.
Right. So I've always said to myself, what is my time worth? Right. Like I was coming out here to Phoenix, right? And, I'm shooting 3 more podcasts tomorrow.
Yeah.
But tonight, I was like, man, Marco's there. Let's get Marco to come meet us and shoot a podcast. And what's my time worth? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, well, I'm here. Let's go.
Do it all at once.
Correct. I think people don't realize I'm having a drink with you, even though you don't drink.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? People don't realize what their time's worth. And I think that's why they fail. And when people don't realize this even more, I don't know how you feel about it. How many other people do you represent have their intake set up where someone's answering the phone, they're using Hatcher Chirp, they have everything to get right back to that lead when it comes in. Lead to speed. How many people are actually doing it?
Like, if I were to be truly honest, I would say 50, 60%.
I'd be willing to bet you it's not even 10%.
Probably less, right? I'm giving the benefit of the doubt.
But think about this. You should know that if they're being transparent with you.
Correct.
Because I would never call you up and say it's a fucking bad lead unless I could not get in touch with the person over and over again.
See,
I'll say,
put it this way. The
bad
companies
lead.
that are very successful with their paid traffic, with their business in general, they invest in their brand. They know what it takes to market. They know what a lead is. They have processes and systems in place, kind of like everything you guys teach at the shop too, or at the mastermind, to like teach people like running a business needs to be optimized. Yeah, lead comes in, you got to reach out right away, and you're going to reach out for the next month, And so like there's a process, and I'd say the companies that we work with that are like that are so much easier to work with. We like working with those type of people.
I think we touched our average lead at LB Capital. And don't hold me to this because I just want to verify it with Bill. But I think it's almost like 17 times. Is that correct, Neary Jacob? Where we'll reach out to a lead 17 times on average. Is something like that, correct? Yes.
It used to be. Yeah, like I was here.
10 in the first day and 17 in the first what, Bill? It's 17 in what, the first week?
Yeah.
10 in the first day, 17 the first week. And people ask me, Lance, how is it possible you took months and 18 months to 25 million in all retail?
Yeah.
Lance, how is it possible you're taking Plant to 20 plus million the first year? Lance, how are you taking Pups to 20 plus? Well, it's really not that hard if you keep doing the same things. The problem is, right, that one of my companies right now in Salty Dog, my partner wasn't buying into it. Now he's buying into it because he's seeing the growth. Right? At first he was like, a little bit this and a little bit of that. We're worrying about the shit that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
A production order got messed up. Well, guess what? For the rest of your life, production orders are going to get messed up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but people are going to make mistakes. What matters are we getting better at our efficiencies? Are we getting better at lead to speed? Are we getting better at getting a salesperson in the home? Is our close rate going up? Are we getting faster installs done? Are we collecting money fast? Are we profitable on a P&L? How many of these conversations are you having with your clients, and be honest? Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to.
I mean, our process is to have those conversations with them.
But how many are truthful with you, do you think, and actually talk? I talk to you. You do my shit.
Yeah.
You do some of my stuff, and I use you. And you sound very direct.
Yeah.
Right?
We talk about it.
And we talk about it. Yes,
yeah. I'd say 10%. Not a very high amount. And I think you would have higher success rates across the board if people were just honest with themselves, with themselves about their marketing and their advertising and what they're actually doing when a lead comes in. You know, if they were to like look at it, and I mean, it costs $30 every time you have a conversation with a new lead. It's money every single time you get a new lead.
Costs
So
more than $30.
in roofing, it's going to be a winch higher, right? And the stuff that you're doing is $30 or whatever. But you got to take that lead seriously. Otherwise you're just you might as well just throw money out the window, you know?
You know, I had this conversation because people ask me all the time to partner with them in digital marketing, as you know,
Like agencies.
all the time.
No.
All the time. And I said to Bill, if I ever went back into this space, I already had one of the largest agencies. There'd be no doubt I'd be the largest agency in the country. You want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because the expectations I would set with clients up front, they would either run for the fucking door or they would know it's all gas, no bullshit. I'm getting access to everything. I'm not getting access to your Google Analytics and your Search Console. No, no, no. I'm getting access to your service title. I'm getting access to your CRM.
Everything.
I'm getting access to your P&Ls. I want to see, are we moving the needle? Are we growing? I want to see the KPIs, the trends. I want to see what your book rate is. I want to see your time to lead is, because we're not having conversations when you tell me, Miss Jones, and this is the thing, and I think you appreciate this, because you've been fired sometimes and you killed it for people, yes or no?
Yeah.
Like, you've been fired. Like, everyone at agency world's been fired. Like, I've been fired, and it used to blow my mind, and I'll never get it. I'm not going to mention this guy's name, but like, I was friends with him. I took him from $1 million to 2 million to 10 million to 20 million to 40 million, about 37 million. And he fired me. I'm like, yo, dude, how could you fire me at such success?
Yeah.
He said, well, there's these 6 things wrong with my website. They showed me this automated report from SEM Rush.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Automated report.
are you fucking, these things don't even matter. And some nitwit, and what happened was all of his shit started going backwards. And stupid me back then would never make this decision again. He called me up to work with him because he went from 37 back down to like 26.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen, can I bring you back in? And I was like, listen, you aren't loyal to me. This is my first 5-6 years in business. I would never treat someone like this. And I was like, no. I never spoke to him again. And his business has never really grown again.
Yeah.
And, I thought about reaching out to him. I can't now. But I was like, man, like, instead of being 35 back then, being a jerk off and not doing the right thing, I probably should have brought that customer back. But my feelings were so hurt, I was crushing it for him. And I got fired over a bullshit report, which I'm sure you've had.
Yeah. People, contractors will believe anything in their email box. And so, the problem is you get automated reports. Another marketing agency sends some sort of, information to their email box. And then all of a sudden it causes havoc on the stuff that you're doing as an agency. And
I don't believe contractors believe anything in their email box. I believe when contractors are bored or slow, it always comes down to their agency. Nobody wants to look in the mirror and say, I put weight on. Nobody wants to look in the mirror and say, I'm a loser. Nobody wants to look in the mirror and say, I'm the fault my company's not growing.
Yeah.
Every failure we have at LV Capital, I 100% put on me.
Yeah.
And then second, it goes to my leadership team. There's no one else to blame except for Lance Bachmann and the leadership team. And most people can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's their own biggest nightmare.
And that's why they're stuck where they're at. They're not willing to take accountability for where they're at. And the other thing we see in the agencies and just business space in general is people like to make a ton of excuses as to where they're at. Like, don't get mad at the scale. Like, if you're 400 pounds, don't get mad at the scale. You don't get mad at the things that actually got you there, right? And so it's the same thing that happens when people look at their P&L and all the good stuff.
It's funny you say it, because I was pushing 300 pounds close to probably about 5-6 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. And I hired this trainer, Tony Bree. I actually called him. I was in Penn State. I was in a bad spot. My son LJ was probably 6. And I just knew, man, I needed to change. I called him up. I'm like, I need you to this guy, Tony Bree, is a great guy. Like, I would tell anyone, to call this guy if they were just not mentally ready and need to lose weight. And I called him up. I'm like, dude, I got to lose weight. And he met me. And I want to tell you something. Put the fucking fork down.
Yeah.
Like, I'll break your jaw. And I was like, what? He's like, I'll break your jaw. Put the fork. And he wasn't being rude. He's like, but what he meant when I say put the fork down, you're enabling your own problems.
Right.
Right? Like, you don't have to eat so much. You don't have to make such bad decisions. In business, I tell people the same thing. Jesus Christ, man, just take a look at your P&L. Just take a look at your marketing dollars. Nice. Like, do you know how many people show me their P&Ls and they're negative 100,000, 200,000, and they're not building a company? Like, when you're building a company to start a company, I understand you lose money for the first 6, 9 months. I did it with Muns. I did it with Planet. I did it with Pups. I did it with One SEO. I did it with Shock IT. I did it with Cherry Root. Like, every company I've ever done, we've lost money the first, 3 to 6 months. Like,
So you fast growth.
because you're investing and I'm fast growing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta then lose money and then you gotta tweak the dials, tweak the dials, tweak the dials. And once you get those dials set, you go.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is most people don't tweak the dials and they don't pay attention to the numbers. Let's talk about, because the agency world, I don't see a guy like you. How old, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 23.
How old?
23?
Your mom and dad must be so fucking proud of you.
Maybe. I don't know. I hope.
Hold on. You're 20. That now, Bill, do you know he's 23 years old? No wonder you called me Mr. fucking Bachmann. Okay, Jesus Christ.
I was asking you if anybody called you Mr. Bach.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, I got a son older than you. You're literally closer to my son LJ's age than you are my age. But your parents, they never said, Marco, I'm proud of you. You're out there, you have 100 clients doing this. You're out there building an app doing this. You're finding your way, forging your way in life. When most 23-year-old kids are sniffing Elmer's glue, figuring out they're a kitty cat, a man, a girl these days,
Oh my God.
or whatever this shit they're on Grindr or whatever these apps. You said OnlyFans is real big out here, right?
Yeah.
Which is another thing that we should talk about, because that's lunacy too. But I never been on OnlyFans, believe it or not, which I am going to check it out just to see what it's about. It is $1 billion evaluation. I read the article.
Hey, it's a good business model. But yeah, no, I was born and raised right here in Arizona. My mom's, she's in the medical field, so she was pushing me really hard, like, go medicine. Like, if you want to be successful, you have to get a degree. Like, that's how I was trained growing up. And I ended up going to college, but through college, I started the marketing agency. I mean, we did our first $1 million in revenue before I was done with school. So like, I was already like, look, I know I'm not going to get a job, but let me finish what I started, And I think until like maybe a couple years ago or a few years ago, my parents finally came back around, like, hey, like, college isn't really you didn't really have to go,
No, you don't have to go to college. I mean,
Yeah.
I always say this, school and college makes employees, not entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They don't, look at most entrepreneurs, they don't even finish. I finished college. I did. I don't regret it. I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been the vice president of AT&T without it. So, but I think I learned a lot from there. But like, if I'm your mom and dad, I'm saying to you, goddamn, Marco, you're doing better than 99.9% of 23-year-old kids out there. I mean, you're still a fucking kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've done quite a bit, but it's like this compared to what I want to do,
Dude, you got a long runway. I do not have a long runway. You have a long runway. I got 77 is the average that a white male lives to. I got
From
26 years.
Yeah.
26 years left. Of that 26 years, I got to imagine my last 10 are probably not going to be enjoyable. So I tell my wife all the time, I got 16 years to be living in Pound Town with you, to be owning around, living life. I'm not going to be miserable for the next 16 years of my life. My wife is a great person.
Yeah.
But like, you got 23, 77. What's that?
50 years.
You got 50. Dude,
Yeah.
you do realize, and here's something.
I mean, who knows what the world's going to look like in 50 years, right? I mean, we'll see,
I made 90% of my wealth. I'm 51. From I was 46, 47 to 51, 90% of my wealth has been made in the last 4 to 5 years. And if I was making the kind of money you were making at 23 and doing what you're 23, I think everyone would be like you're on step, you're in the goal line. You're in the red zone. Like, you don't sit around. Like, is it because you're around successful people? Around successful people, you don't give yourself. I mean, you gotta know what your little idiot 23-year-old friends look like.
Yeah, I don't hang out with 20-year-olds. Like, honestly, all my friends are 30, 40. I
Okay.
mean, they're older, married. I feel like sometimes I'm in rooms like that, you know? And so I definitely don't act like a normal
No, I'm blown away with
20-year-old.
23. Neri and Jacob are looking. They want to check your ID.
Oh, I know.
Huh? Oh, you know? Yeah, I did not know that.
We're the same age.
Pretty impressive. Very impressive. Let's talk about your app in the
Yeah.
HVAC space. I went on it. I got a quote myself. And, obviously it was close for one unit because I sold an HVAC company, as you know.
Mhm.
What made you come up with the app ideal? It's a competitive space HVAC. I know you got users on it already. You already have nice recurring monthly revenue.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the app and what made you come up with that idea.
Yeah. 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 So, over the past few years, I've, managed millions of dollars in advertising budget for contractors across the country, different industries, right? Roofing, plumbing, concrete. And one of the biggest things I've noticed with contractors with their marketing is, the rise in cost per lead, the rise in CPMs, kind of like I mentioned to you
Well,
earlier.
you're seeing every day.
And so what I was trying to think was like, okay, well, there's got to be a way to combat that, right? The only platforms that win, the only people that win in this situation with rising cost per lead and everything is Facebook and Google,
100%.
right? And so contractors have to maximize their opportunity. And that's where we, developed this software called HVAC Quote. And we coded this platform to leverage and be able to, help HVAC companies across the country get more replacement jobs because they make money off replacements and new installs, not repairs. As you know, I mean, you grew an HVAC business.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, if you're going to, run ads or you're going to have a website, you want to have as many options as possible for people to reach out to you. Number one, you want to have your phone number on the website. Number two, you want to have a scheduling, schedule engine, service titan, house call pro booking form. Number three, you want to have your instant quote generator because, people are going to come to your 97% of your website visitors are going to come to your site and they're going to bounce.
Most people, say that one more time. Most people don't know that.
97% of your website visitors are going to come to your website and they're going to bounce.
And explain what that means.
And the reason why they're going to bounce is because you don't have the proper things on there to answer their questions. They come there for price. They come there for your phone number. Or they come there for, maybe they're looking for pictures of shingle roofs, right? Whatever it is, there's different reasons, but 97% of people are just leaving. And so why not, have an option on there that lets homeowners get an instant quote? Because most people are going to fill that out. They don't have time to call you right there in that moment. They're gonna instantly think, okay, what is the price for this? And they're gonna fill out the form. You're gonna get that lead, and now you're gonna be able to generate way more leads from your marketing budget.
Listen, I saw it and I loved it. I told you that. And I was like, why would not every HVAC company use this? Do you take a percentage of their leads or is it just a set monthly price?
We thought about that in the beginning, but it's just a straight up monthly cost. That's the new way of advertising in HVAC is running ads to a landing page that has the quote form because you're going to get way higher quality leads from there and be able to, sell way more jobs.
Yeah, you already know what's going on. Like I did mine and it took me literally less than a minute.
Yeah.
A minute all the way through. I think it's 8 steps. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and it gave me a good, better, and best.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see it work. No offense. I just wanted to see
Make sure it,
before we
But-
this. Hey, listen, I was like, I would have had this on my HVAC site. It was a no-brainer.
yeah.
I mean, it knew my size of my house, knew the address, it knew all the information. The only thing it didn't get, and I said this to you, is they didn't realize it's a custom. I have multiple units, but it's custom. But you wouldn't know that till you got to my farm.
Yeah.
Right? They're just going,
Mhm.
they're doing it off of
Yeah.
size and
It's
But-
going off of like, previous, like your house is in a database, right?
correct.
And so like, if you did an addition, it's not going to be
100%.
square footage on it. The other thing, Lance, is I mean, with your roofing companies, you guys use tools like this
Yes.
in the roofing
We
industry.
use roofer or roofle.
Roofer.
Yeah.
And so, this has already been a thing, online pricing transparency in other industries. When you go to Walmart and you see a pair of shoes, what do you think? What's the price, right? You go to a dealership's website and you look for a vehicle. The price is on the website. And so, our philosophy is why not put this quote tool on your site? Because it's better than a contact form. It's going to generate 45% more leads just by having it on your website. We actually did a study, so we're able to see exactly how many leads came in before, how many leads came in after, and
Just so you guys understand, he has access to all the data of his clients. So when he's putting this in, he can actually see when he tweaks something and makes one adjustment, not 10 adjustments, one adjustment. He just puts this form on this little thing. It changes the volume of leads compared to the same time last year versus this year and probably the last 60 days or
yeah,
whatever. So you're not just spitting out shit here.
yeah,
You actually measure, you know how to, like if someone said that to me, I'd be like, well, how do you know? Well, you're a digital marketer, so you
mhm,
understand how to look at the
yeah,
metrics.
and and
And how I know he knows is because he sends me our own metrics. We have all the metrics already for our roofing conference unasked for that you just threw into our inbox probably 4 or 5 days ago.
yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
Which one was it?
Our ticket sales for the
Oh
roofing
yeah, yeah, yeah.
conference.
Like
Everyone
what?
asked for it. Yeah, month by month.
So um, here's the other thing, Lance. Like you're a marketing guy. You want to keep homeowners on your website for as long as possible.
100%.
It helps with SEO, search engine optimization. Okay. You're going to be able to build more rapport with your customer if they're on your website. As you saw, the good, better, best, it kind of explains the different system
100%.
and the installation process. And you want to be able to educate the consumer so that way before the sales rep comes out there, there's already a rapport built, right? And you're looked at as a different company than your competition. Um, on average, if you have the instant quote tool on your website, people are going to be on your website for an extra 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. So it took you maybe 30 seconds to get the quote, to
Yep.
go through the first couple questions. But then they look at it and they look at the picture.
Oh,
They look
yeah.
at, okay, what's included in this? Okay,
I
cool.
did. You saw me going good,
Right.
better, best. Look.
And so it's going to, companies that are using it are getting way better SEO rankings as well, which, as you know, is tough, especially in the HVAC market where
Well, especially if you go to the first page of Google and you just go down, the first 10 results are going to be aggregators and pay-per-clicks and
yeah,
LFAs.
just, yeah.
Good luck cracking the top 10 if you haven't been doing it for a while
Hmm. Yeah.
for a keyword that matters.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing we notice is, I exported 100 demo calls and I transcribed them and put them into ChatGPT, and I transcribed all of the conversations we're having with these, with the HVAC companies that are coming to us, and I figured out exactly like what are the 5 reasons why people are buying this thing. Like, what is it? Like, I don't run an HVAC company. I mean, we developed this tool. I'm a marketing guy, so like I have an idea as to why, but these companies are telling us exactly why they want it. And the first reason, can you guess what the first reason is why people want it?
Well, the transparency.
Yeah, like
I'm assuming
online
it's
pricing
easy.
transparency.
It's, right.
Yeah, yeah. So that's included. Um,
It's simple to
well,
use.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have to talk to someone. I don't need a step number 2.
yeah. You could do that. You could do it in the middle of the night. You don't need to talk to any company. Um, Something we noticed is it weeds out tire kickers. You get hundreds of leads as a
Yeah, if you
company.
need a lead like I just went through, besides me testing it, it's a real lead
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, if that company calls you and has a meaningful conversation with you, right? That CSR, that person who's booking that call into it, like an actual in-home assessment, then if you end up booking, you're a much higher quality appointment.
So, Marco, last question for you. What's next for Marco? And I appreciate you coming out. What's next for Marco and your companies? What's next for you?
Well, over the next year or two, we're going to continue to scale HVAC Glow. We're not really, we're not taking on any more like marketing clients or marketing partners. We're not really trying to grow that side of the business. Um, we're looking just to get as many HVAC companies as possible to use the tool and build more value, launch more features, and keep growing.
I appreciate you being out here in Arizona this late. Let's super have a late dinner.
Awesome.